And the Western Cape dams expected to be at full capacity following heavy downpours in the past few days. According to officials, both the Theewaterskloof and the Voelvlei are continually filling up. The Water and Sanitation Department is on an oversight visit at the Berg River Dam. That's in Franschhoek. And this is where we find Newzroom Afrika's Nasiphi, who joins us now. Nasiphi, good morning to you. I remember a time when day zero was the order of the day in the Western Cape, particularly Cape Town. And it seems like, something that was many, many years ago, and yet it was actually in recent times. But it's a completely different story today, given the heavy downpours in that region.
Well, a completely different story indeed, and it is indeed true. The city of Cape Town was at some stage faced with day zero, and many other parts of the Western Cape, including the Central Karoo, were hardest hit during that period, where they experienced a lack of rain, which then meant that farmers, including residents, had to implement water-saving measures. However, that's a far cry of what we now have in 2023, following those heavy downpours during the June period, where localized flooding and also infrastructure damage in various parts of the Western Cape was the order of the day. But one can say that obviously the rain is much welcomed following those heavy downpours. But to talk to us more, I am joined by Untombazanele Bila Mapurua. Did I pronounce that correctly? Yes, the head of the Water and Department of Water and Sanitation in the province. Ma'am, thank you so much for your time. But we do understand that you'll be taking us through of this particular dam, the Berg Dam rather, and talking to us about where the situation of the dams are currently sitting in the province following those June downpours.
Hi, good morning, listeners. If you look at the heavy rains that we experienced in the past 3 weeks within the Western Cape, the Berg River Dam is currently sitting at more than 100%. To be precise, it's 100.67%, as compared to last year, where it was 82.19%. But if you look at the Western Cape state dams that are being monitored by the department, last year we were at 56.86%, and currently we are sitting at 85%. Now, coming to the Western Cape water supply system, which takes a big percentage of the entire supply of the Western Cape, we are currently sitting at 95%, of which last year we were 72%. The department is pleased about that, and we are very, very excited that our Western Cape water supply systems, including other systems that are associated within the province, they are looking fairly well.
I mean, the heavy downpours caused much damage in a number of parts in the Western Cape, places like Cedarburg municipality. But in terms of infrastructure, did we see any damage following the heavy downpours?
With the exception of that isolated case that you have just mentioned, we haven't seen any. There are no incidents that has been reported within the department infrastructure. If we look at the dams infrastructure as well as the gauging station, and the only damage that we have experienced within the departmental infrastructure is only at the Clan William Dam, of which the water supply system is still intact. There are no further damages, and the way it has been constructed, it will remain intact, and we are quite happy about that.
Seeing that we received so much rain this past month, water restrictions, are they still in place for those residents in the Western Cape region?
Since last year, when we had our water restrictions, we didn't have water restrictions since last year. In November 2022, when we had our water resource planning model, it advised us that there are no water restrictions that we need to implement or rather enforce. And we are going to have another a meeting that will determine whether we are going to have the water restrictions within the Western Cape. So that module is normally run on an annual basis, of which it is the one that is going to lead us whether we are going to have restrictions or not. Looking at the current situation, we don't foresee any water restrictions that are going to be implemented, but let's rather wait and see what the module is going to reveal.
I mean, if you speak about the dams nearing full capacity and the fact that we might, or rather we don't have any water restrictions, how then should people continue consuming water, seeing that one could say that we are fairly safe in the Western Cape?
What we are doing excellent within the department, and also working together with other local authorities. We are having water conservation and demand management awareness campaigns. We're working very close to each other, holding hands to ensure that we implement all those strategies that has been set to conserve water. What we can say to the water users is that even though our dams are full, we need to always continue conserving water, using water sparingly. Where we can, we need to ensure that we harvest the water. Normally, now that it's currently raining, it is the better time to be harvesting water.
And then back at the Berg Dam you spoke of earlier, that there were minor hiccups there. Is the water safe for the residents in that municipality to consume? And also, how long will it take to do some of the repairs that you spoke of?
The municipality is underway, is currently working towards fixing the system that was damaged through the stormwater. In terms of the water quality within the Western Cape, Minister Mkhunu released the report, which is called Blue Watch Report, of which it clearly shows that there is a slight decline within the Western Cape water quality systems. However, majority of the water quality systems within the Western Cape, they remain safe to use in terms of the drinking water quality. If you look at the chemical health, they are doing extremely well. So fairly we can say that the water quality that needs to be consumed by the consumers here in the Western Cape is safe to drink.
So no precautionary measures in terms of consuming water from the tap?
Well, where the residents are identifying or noticing some challenges in terms of microbial, or they foresee that there is a challenge within their water quality, they are welcome to contact their municipality, of which the municipalities, they will instruct them or rather guide them in terms of the precautionary measures that they need to take. For an example, boiling water alerts and so forth. But that is the responsibility of the municipality to ensure that they keep in touch with the consumers in terms of the quality of water, in terms of the water that they are receiving within their homes.
Thank you so much, Ntombazanele, the head of Water and Sanitation in the Western Cape, rather, just giving us a status update in regards to infrastructure damage, including the dam capacities following those heavy downpours during the June period.
Nasiphi, thank you very much. Live for us there in the Western Cape.